So it's Monday afternoon, little change to the routine. I'm bringing Armageddon back. I wanted to squeeze in an extra weightlifting session to kind of work on the body fat. So moved my routine back to what it was before, where I'm doing Armageddon. And then I'm going to do chest and back together, and legs and shoulders are staying together. I want to start working on chest and back twice a week, and we're going to do arms once. So bringing back an old favorite, an oldie but goodie, but getting into Armageddon right now.
Or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1. I always think the determining factor on how great you are is if you were a free agent, and not just sports, you were an attorney, you were a doctor, you were a surgeon, you were a salesperson, you were a high school principal, high school administrator, you were a college professor. It doesn't matter. You could go down to anything. You could go down to any worker. You're in a town, you're a chef, and you were on the market. Anybody could have you. They had to bid on you. What kind of frenzy would you create? That's why Giannis really is good. If Giannis was on the market, almost everybody would take him. Westbrook is flashier. Carmelo's going to score a bunch of points. Anthony Davis, Giannis on the market with a history of no injuries. Everybody would bid on him. The whole league would bid on Giannis. And that now, in baseball, it doesn't count because some teams just can't afford Mookie Betts. But Mike Trout and Mookie Betts, available to the market, every single team in baseball would bid on them if they could afford them. And so, if every single player in the NFL was on the market, and we know quarterbacks are the most valuable players, so they would be the big prizes. I believe if every single player in the NFL was on the market, Mahomes would go number one and Russell Wilson would go number two. And people say, what about Aaron Rodgers? Well, it's funny. Russell Wilson dropped 10 spots to number 12, the 12th best player in the NFL, on the NFL Network's list. Now, this is just a list. But this is why I don't pay a ton of attention to an NFL Network. They do a great job, but they do a lot of this stuff. You know, they get us all worked up, and they'll put somebody a little higher, a little lower, whatever. I get the game. But the value of Russell Wilson and Mahomes is everybody in the league's available. Bid. You understand if Aaron Rodgers, who's going to finish higher on this list, was available and Russell Wilson was, Russell Wilson would have far more suitors. He's younger.
If he threw 4 interceptions, people say, oh, he's a rookie. He throws touchdowns, oh, he's great. So, you know, that level of, or lack of pressure that he has right now, and that level of performance, yeah, it's going to be real easy right now. I don't take any stock in any of it right now.
Let me ask you about the Saints. Their streak of 4 straight division titles feels like it could come to an end. They had to cut salary. They've shown an ability to win without Drew Brees. But I'll tell you, I don't look at them the same today as I did 2 to 3 years ago. You're a former Saints great. How do you look at their roster and their chances?
I do look at them with the same amount of, I'll say, enthusiasm as prior years, because you still have an offensive line that's great. Teron Armstead, Ryan Ramczyk. You still have Alvin Kamara in the backfield, one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the game. Defensively, solid. Except for up front, you're looking at Demario Davis at linebacker. Malcolm Jenkins still does well. Cameron Jordan still performs. So they have makings to assemble a really good team around either Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, and then it's about going out there for Jameis or for Taysom and don't screw it up. It's as simple as that, right? Don't screw it up. It's okay winning games 17-10. Sean may not like that. You call yourself an offensive guru, but at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Until they get more comfortable, that's the style of football that they're going to have to play, where it's a reliance on the offensive line.
And place to play that we need to win games and make a run in this division right now. But the players will take their play to another level, knowing, hey, the guy that we know should be starting behind center is there, and let's go out there and just win some games. So it's a different electricity amongst that franchise.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments.
as folksy as he wants to be, understands that quarterback reps are not like nuts that a squirrel saves up for winter and then worry, I'm not going to February, I'm not going to have any left. Darn it, shouldn't
There's
play.
some video that said the old Lakers are not title contenders.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think I should watch it because I'm gonna be pissed off.
He has no experience coming off that injury from last year, and no experience dealing with this very odd under the shoulder, almost in the armpit area shoulder injury that I think is reasonable to say might be related to the ankle injury. Your footwork changes a bit, your mechanics change a bit, all of a sudden you tweak something. And if you're the Cowboys fan, you've got to, it's always something. In 2015 or life, and Bill Belichick were all like, hey, Coach Mangini, going through something, maybe check on him. You're like, hey, Coach, how are you doing, buddy? I've heard from reputable sources there could be a problem. So I'm a little worried about Dak.
Look, there's reason to be concerned, but the good news is that he is throwing with volume, and there is time. They do have this period where they can keep him down, and I'm more concerned about how he's going to react in live action to the leg injury, and you have to go through that process. All the other guys that you talked about, while weren't coming off major injuries, and this is a situation where it's hard. It's hard to get your body to react in that moment after coming back from something as traumatic as it is, and it takes time to adjust to that. So I'm concerned about that aspect of it. In terms of the arm injury, I do believe that it can be managed. Reaching out to baseball teams, that's not that uncommon. You want to get as much advice as you can when you're dealing with any injury. Did I love that it was on Hard Knocks? Did I love that they were sharing that? No, not necessarily, but that seems to be the Cowboy way anyway. They'll share those things. But it's not, we're not at an emergency level of concern right now. It's just mild Cowboy concern.
So Armageddon is complete. Great workout today. Very noticeable difference in strength when I'm just doing arms as a standalone day versus doing them as a secondary movement. So I had been doing chest as the primary and tricep as the secondary, back as the primary, bicep as the secondary, and just a noticeable difference, particularly when doing compound exercises that involve your whole body, much heavier weight. Even bench press isn't a compound movement, but you bench 135, 155, 185, and then you're going into tricep. Also combined with the fact that you are still using those muscles. When you're doing chest, you're still using your triceps. When you're doing back exercises, for the most part, probably on a deadlift, but in a lot of, like when you're doing the lawnmower dumbbells, when you're doing the rows, you're still utilizing your biceps. So going to a bicep exercise from that or a tricep exercise, there's just a noticeable difference in the amount of strength, because I felt a lot stronger today than I did when I was doing them before. So not that it's an issue, but just an observation. And also, I want to focus more on chest and back, more so back than anything. If there was a day I could do twice, I would probably do back and legs. I'd probably put that as a combo and do twice, but because I run 5 days a week, I can't do lift legs more than once. But I am putting my calisthenics back in place this week, so trying to ramp it up. And just really want to start attacking body fat in the back half of the year. So great workout today. I'm actually about to go and run 3 to 4 miles on the treadmill, just zone 2 light run, but a little double dip. So for now, Fareed Fitness signing off.